So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna I'm gonna download this. You see my hair? I'm gonna download this on YouTube, and can you believe I got a haircut when I went to the Dominicans? they, they took. I'm sitting in the seat. They literally took the flat iron. It was like just doing like this to my hair, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I didn't come here for this. Just just trim my hair. Just trim it, and blow it out. The next day, the blowout, it just that was it. It was no more blowout, no more. But yeah, I'm tired, and I'm gonna download this on YouTube and just send you the link so that you can see it. I'm just gonna talk for a little bit. So I'm here, and so here's the forward part of the airport or whatever, and I'm here, and you see how my mind just jumped from one part. It's like they're trying to create me to be they try to create me to be some type of robot or something. You know what I mean? And I'm sure dealing with these systems and structures, they have a lot of scientific backing, not backing, but a lot of scientific data as to what they did to me and how things have, in their minds, may have, I can probably use the word evolve or something like that. But it's really sick, to be very honest, with everything that's going on. My mind, so I'll start from there. So just with what they did with the algorithms of the phone, and I remember that what I was gonna say is that I'm here, and I'm literally sitting here after listening to Does He Sing to Me, and while I'm sitting here, I'm just in a place where I'm like, yeah, hold my head up, just be, but in reality, I'm just like, it's not that I'm afraid. And again, I meant what I said, that I don't think that I'm invincible. You know what I mean? Understanding this technology, my fist can do whatever it does, but at the same time, it's like my body is still, it's limb. You know what I mean? So I can't, that strength and stuff like that, and they've exhausted just basically the adrenaline in my body. So, you know what I mean? And it's like, so at the same time, I can't defend myself if out of all this chaos, somebody wants to try to come and attack me or something like that. My own God-given right, resources, not even resources, my own God-given right, my own God-given ability. He didn't give us, the ability to protect ourselves physically for no apparent reason. You understand? And in this world or whatever, these capabilities, everything is within the boundaries of who God is. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't, how can I say, like, every part of me, I don't care, now I'm in this place now, And I understand that it was like that since I was a teenager, but I didn't understand the totality of it, and I didn't suffer in this extreme. And with that, they made sure that they took away the ability for me to even produce a healthy quality of life. And they know I'm here, and what else can I do? I don't I've asked for mercy over and over again, and as far as it concerns them, that's nothing they want to give. So lawlessness, evil only understands law. That's the only thing. And to be very honest, I have more things to defend myself against now, because even understanding sound waves, they want to, and I know probably what they did over in Delta or whatever is prevented me from understanding them in one sense too, or being able to logically compute through sound wave. And so now it can bring me to the point where I could be a little bit more defensive or something like that when it comes to, because I'm taking a note, and if they thought that I was playing, that I'm not taking a note, then I don't, to be honest, I don't know what to say, because I'm taking a note. I have no other choice but to take a note, but I'm taking a note. Maybe I shouldn't even think that way, to tell you the truth. But in my seriousness, I'm taking a note. You know what I mean? How can anybody forget? I wish I could explain this a different way. But what I said earlier was the soberness of me. At the same time, the dismay is like, how can anybody forget? See, and I can't even, you see how I just switched from that to that so quickly? There's no girth to me expressing my emotions. I was in a place where I understood myself fully. And it didn't matter to me, like, if I had, and I'm not saying this to toot a horn, though I can be a little, feeling myself sometimes. But that's just me too. So, but at the same time, it's like I took care of myself. The ICC, all they did was contribute to manufacturing what was already in me. They use manipulative standards in order to draw out my heart, and that's a lack of the word that's necessary for this situation. Granted, the way my mind is right now, the weariness of it, and how they've basically cut up, short-circuited my brain in different compartments, and my neurons, their synapses needing to connect back, and they continue to torture, they continue just basically everything that they're doing. A psychosis is just basically a swiveling of thought that does not stop. And like within that, or whatever. It's like the psychosis. And don't be fooled. Like, just because I can briefly touch on it, this is not the girth of it. This is not. They've destroyed my mind. They literally destroyed my mind. And what they wanted, and then what they do now, they know the traditions of Black people through our suffering. And the sickness about it is that our own Black people look at it as something dignified to make me torture, to continue on torturing me. It doesn't make sense to me, especially if they've been through the same thing, that they've suffered the same. I just realized that since I'm posting this on YouTube, I can say as much as I want. Nose running. But everything has to seem like a reality, and they're doing their best to thwart what is a reality. And you know how mom said that, and she accept me, and I'm glad that she accepts me as a daughter, you know, and how mom said that what is isn't, and what isn't is, you know, and the magic that's out there is the magic within, you know. And for me, what that is that in this world is specific for us, and there's no harm in that. There's no fear in that. There's no fear in love. None at all. And I don't want to dumb it down to survival, because that's what, when I was on the beach with Elise, that's basically what they tried to format in my brain using another Black person. And with it and stuff, you know, I didn't know the flip of the hair meant something until until now, because I'm just like, wait a minute, because I'm gonna flip my hair. Just flip it. No, Cardi B got she got it in my brain. She has that in my brain, but it's combined with the Bernie Mac. But oh my goodness, what the heck is this thing called attraction? I don't know. You tell me. What is it? Man. So, not seduction, but attraction. See, with seduction, it's unsure. Attraction is magnetic. What is this? What is this? What is this? What is this? Like, I keep on, like, I mean, and what else? I can't think of it. I'm trying to think, like, what. Can't think of it. Not to say it like that, but meaning like it's something I'm copying or something. And you know what? As I think about that and stuff like that, that's just basically in the ICC. how can I say, they put me in a place where they trained, what they did was they formatted my thought process. And so when it comes to certain ways of speaking, they formatted it. I wouldn't call it reverse psychology, but they formatted it to the place where it's like they induced intellect. So by inducing intellect, they put the person in a position where, as opposed to when you're in elementary school, and what they do is that they condition just everyone to, they treat them as children. A part of me is embarrassed because of it, but I looked at it, how it's like they have a method to doing it. It's the superlative aspect of everything that's happening in ICC. How they incite a whole bunch of joy, and they target specific audiences. And within that, or whatever the case may be, and I'm jumping. It's just basically because my brain is like, it's just super sensitive. It's easily distracted. How they taunted and said that my daughter is, when I was in Brunswick, and you know what, I'm just gonna go with the flow right now and just like whatever, like, that I'm suffering, and my position and things of that nature. So so within it, when I was in Brunswick Hospital, they used a white, disturbed young lady, fittingly so, right? But they used her to come and speak to me. So she mentioned something about an advanced ADHD, in other words, and they made so many references to my daughter. And so what they were doing, they were taking patients in, the doctors were taking patients in and quickly, obviously showing me that as a mock, because their disbelief does not allow them to understand, okay, this is wrong. You know what I mean? And so they bring contempt in mocking and scoffing human lives at the hands of them being medical professionals. And that's just like a portion, probably 1% of what occurred. And they had the girl sit across from me. And she was like, it was like she was taunting me. And my mind could not contain. And I hope you get the volume, because I have it. but my mind could not contain just my mind couldn't contain defending, because they weld my mind to a place where it was like I responded, but I couldn't respond. So every time, it's like you punching. Every time. I say no. That's what it was for me. And so back at Delta, who knows? I guess the president thought that would be appropriate. I said no to the Delta representative. Said no twice. I guess they thought they were giving me back something by torturing me again. But this time I said no. Twice. TJ, I don't know what to do with all this anger. I don't know what to do. I don't even know how to even suffer properly right now. I just don't. I'm here, I'm just trying to keep myself together. Right now, my mind wants to say to you that I love you. But then a part of my mind is also just like, is that me? And what I mean by that is because when I was in Brunswick, all of the happy feelings, the development of intimacy, and then Jamal was used as a intention to swivel in harder. That's it. Giving them hope. That's what they hope for. Torture. That's what she hopes for. Torture. This anger, this fury, it has been something that as a teenager I witnessed for myself. When my child was threatened. And either way you put it, everything that I'm saying here is logical. That's the sad thing about it. Because they're trying to put a label on a sound mind that they've tortured. Not right now. Get away from me. So, with that, I'm sorry, like, so they're trying to, and this leads me back to this. For me to do that, they've in their finite, yes, minds, try to dwindle down just my response. The begging. She needs more of the begging with saying no. Go figure. That's the way they look at my mind. Sick and sadistic creation. They want to imitate something they don't understand, which is love. And I pray that you following me with this. Even though it's still clear, you understanding my heart. But for me, my train of thought, because it's like, put it like this. It's like you're shuffling, like you continue on shuffle cards and you stop. Oh, you see something, you pull that out there, reveal that it's a deuce of diamonds. Then you put it back in there and then you just shuffle it again. Oh, a little bit, no, keep shuffling. Oh, that's exactly what they're doing to my brain. It wasn't enough that they confined me to my own apartment and torture me collectively in a community of people, consciously knowing what they're doing. Regardless, there's no excuse for this system. None. Because if I'm in a position where I can logically understand to make a decision not to do something or to do something throughout them torturing me to confine my body to Morse code, they have a decision for themselves not to do what they're doing. Go figure. The noise comes in when I'm getting spirited. Who knows? Everything is a trigger for me right now in this moment. Right? So anyway, and this continues. I'll just wait. I can't even be triggered anymore. Go figure, right? They want the closest thing to death. That's what they want. They either want me dead or they want the closest thing to it. So this is not a conspiracy theory. They've attempted to kill me various times. So they do want me dead. Or wanted me dead. Or maybe just still want me dead. Because they don't understand love. And that is the thing about it. They just don't. And I'll repeat it. It's the sad thing about it. That they don't understand love. And I'm going to be I want to use the word transparent right now. Hearing that bell go off incited this part of my brain to think that I'm going to a prison or that I'm in a prison in this moment. Now it's a conditioning. So for that sound to go off, and that's a same sound that's indicative of a prison alarm, but maybe a different tone. Understanding, going back to what they did in Brunswick with the conditioning of me being in that yard, confined in the yard, them not letting me go outside, them taking me into the bathroom, using 2 African women. And in Brunswick, that's something else. I have to put that together so I could properly explain that, because there was a lot of stuff that they've done there. But to place it in the correct place, since I'm posting this on YouTube, I'm going to be careful. But in it, or whatever the case may be, taking those 2 African women, and that's not indicative, because I'm African. I'm African American. I don't hate myself. I despise what they've done. But I don't hate myself. And that's how I have to bring it into reality. And they're trying to conform, despising what they've done to my conscience of myself, my being. And they're continuing on doing it. how much do they want to grind until they understand that no means no? They obviously don't understand that no means no, but they understand the confection of it. They understand, and it's pissing me off even hearing this here because of what they were doing earlier that I emailed you about. I'll just place that there. So in that or whatever, these people are just basically in this position, going back to what I said about Brunswick Hospital. And this right here, this affect, fabricated affect that they're trying, and the thing about my consciousness is that because I'm conscious of it, regardless of what they did in parts of my brain to condition it, to produce an affect, because basically what they did was different mental illnesses. Since I understood what they did or what they do through economic medicine and through the training of the mind and the systems and structures, which it is common sense. It's plain common sense. If you don't torture somebody, they're gonna understand that in a sober place, if you do not torture someone, and you know what? Let me connect this. So if you don't torture someone, they're going to understand the common sense of it, because God does not leave us in a place where we don't understand. And because love covers a multitude of sins, a person is able to understand truth when there is love. So regardless of what they do, they can continue on doing what they're doing. But even if they deplete every aspect of who I am, God is still constant. And that's just the fact about it. These people try to play God. These people try to I'm a bit distracted right now because there's a bunch of men behind me. That's making me uncomfortable. So in that, or whatever the case may be, now it's a distraction that I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna move this seat.